They told her it was just a bad dream. She knew it was real. It became a nightmare on Elm Street. Now there's a new kid on Elm Street. And Freddy's been waiting.
I'm afraid to go to sleep.
We'll stay up all night if we have to. I'm not gonna let anything happen to you.
Freddy's back. And this time, he's not fooling around.
You are all my children now.
A Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. It's coming soon.
What's up, everybody? It's your man Gillis the Kid. We are back again with another horror movie review. I'm here again with my friend Mike. We just got finished watching A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. What's it called? Freddy's Back?
Freddy's Revenge.
Or Freddy's Revenge.
Freddy's Revenge.
Yep. Came out in 1985.
Correct.
Yep. So, basically, we're going to go through the movie, show you the characters and everything.
Right.
So it starts out with Jesse.
Jesse, played by Mark Patton. Peyton,
Yeah.
I think I'm saying his name right. Right. Starts with him on the bus with everybody, and he meets. Eventually we see Freddy on the bus, but the bus driver. Remember, as we said this before, the bus driver. Don't forget, it's actually Robert Englund driving the bus without his makeup on. So you get to see a little cameo with him without the makeup on, in the opening as they're driving. Then eventually, of course, when everybody starts getting off the bus, then was it just Jesse and there's a couple girls that were on there.
Yeah.
And that's when because remember the girl's about to get off and he's like, "Driver, that was my stop. That was my stop." And then they kept driving.
He was going to school, right? He was in high school.
I think they were. Well, I think they were coming home from school because they were dropping them off. Remember?
Okay.
Yeah, because remember they were dropping all the kids off. Then it was just Jesse and those two girls.
Yeah.
And that's when they started driving. That's when he started driving. He started taking the bus into the open outfield and all. And that's when pretty much the horror started to happen.
Yeah, the bus driver, he's driving the bus,
right.
And then all of a sudden, he went through like the desert part.
It was like a desert part. There was like
because the neighborhood ended.
Right.
And then he just drove through the desert.
Desert's going down it was like going down the hill and everything, right? And eventually see Freddy his claws in his hands as he's driving the bus. Jeez. And then that's when that's when they ended up on the top of that. What was it? The hill or something?
Yeah.
And all the floors and everything collapsed down.
Yeah, it was. It started off as just land,
right?
And then it collapsed, and it was just two pillars with the bus hanging on.
Right, and then eventually you see Freddy get up at the scene, starts scaring everybody with his gloves and all.
Which of course was a dream.
You hear Jesse doing his famous yell throughout the movie.
Was it? That was like his.
I mean, I'm just saying because he did it a lot. Well, that's what I'm saying. He did like 4 or 5 times in the movie. Every time he wake up, he's like
That was like his signature scream.
That's what I'm saying. It's like every time something would happen, he would wake up screaming.
But so basically, Jesse's parents, they bought the house that Nancy used to live in.
Right, it's the same house that was in the original where the Thompsons lived. Exactly, and basically now it's a new family that lived in it. The Walsh family, as they were known as.
Right.
Yeah, because their name was Walsh. The father was I forget his name was Clu Gallagher, if I'm saying his name right, and the mother was Hope Lang. I'm not too familiar with the mother. I know a little bit. She was in me being an Elvis Presley fan. She was in the movie Wild in the Country with Elvis Presley.
Okay.
Clu Gallagher. I'm not too familiar with him. He's actually still alive. I was looking up. He's still alive. He's 90 years old. God bless him. Yeah. Hope Lang. She passed away in 2003, so she's gone. But then of course we meet Lisa.
There was his sister too.
Angela. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with her.
They didn't really get into her character.
Right. I mean, she was in the movie in and out, but as we said, then eventually we meet Lisa. She was at the door, played by Kim Myers. Not too familiar with her history. The only thing I do know is that if you people remember the show Seinfeld, she had she had an appearance on there. She was Pam. If I remember, I think it was Jerry's girlfriend in the show. But Kramer, I remember Kramer liked her. I don't know if you remember the episode or not, but that's when Kramer was going.
That's the only place I remember her from.
That's what Kramer. Yeah, because that's when Kramer was going. Pam, Pam, because he was like in love with her all of a sudden.
Right.
And I think because she liked literature or something. So Kramer he started having Newman read the literature to her. That was her. Yeah. So. Yeah,
I remember her because of she was a redhead.
Right.
She has a familiar face. I just never knew any other movie she played.
Me neither. I was looking her up as far as other movies go. I saw Seinfeld because I was like, oh, Seinfeld, and I saw when I said Pam, I was like, The title was called The Soulmate. That was the name. That was the name of the episode. So all right. So and on their way to school, so they go to school.
Yeah, so he buys the house. They get a really good deal on it. Did she still have the bars up on the window? Because how
they did. That's right. Because later on there was a scene. Yeah, because there was a scene in the movie where he was actually because he was. I don't know if he was trying to take him out or not, but he was actually on the ladder doing it.
Yeah, he didn't like the fact that there was bars.
There was bars all over the house. Right. Yeah. So they were still there. Then eventually we get to school. We meet, of course, and we meet Grady. Grady, probably one of my. He's probably my favorite. He was probably the funny. Probably my favorite character besides Freddy. Of course, my other favorite character in the movie because he was funny throughout.
Well, he reminded me of
you were saying Rod Lane from the original Nightmare on Elm Street, right? Because they both had like the dark hair and. But I don't know. I think Grady might have been a little more funnier in this one though.
Right. Plus, Rod, he had like the leather jacket and stuff.
Right. Whereas Grady just dressed, just regular, just had regular clothes on. So. And then eventually we meet and the coach, Coach Schneider. Well, I remember they got into that little fight in the gym.
Yeah, they were playing basketball.
No, baseball.
I'm sorry, baseball.
They were playing baseball. Yeah, because remember they were doing a thing where they were first Jesse got distracted looking at Lisa. Remember he was like smiling at her and all that, and then Grady hit the ball and it bounced him in the head. Yeah. And then that's when Grady went, "Heads up at the plate, pal." Yeah. And then eventually, because then Grady got tagged out. They were doing the back and forth trying to pick him off, and then Jesse tagged. And remember that's when Jesse said, "You're out. Heads up at the plate, Grady." That's when
they were going back and forth between like third and second base.
Right. Then they got into a little fight, and Schneider came over like, "Assume the position, dirt balls." And Coach Schneider, by the way, if you remember him, that's Marshall Bell, and he was in. If you remember, do you remember the movie Twins with Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito?
Yeah.
He played
DeVito and
he played Webster. Mr. Webster, remember? remember he was the one who went to in history of business where no one's ever seen my face because he would kill everything. Remember he was killing and don't forget Total Recall. He was in Total
Recall too.
He had remember Quado, the little alien creature. He was the one that was inside of him.
He was the face, right?
He had right, but I'm saying he had him on his stomach. Remember? Remember when Schwarzenegger? I remember he took Schwarzenegger in the office. Remember, it was like Quado's on his way. I remember he told him, he's like, "Quado's a mutant. Don't get upset when you see him." And remember, he opens his shirt up and Quado was on him. That was him. Yeah, that was him. Yeah.
Two Schwarzenegger movies.
Right, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So they, I guess they knew each other. And I think it was also it was a TV show called Good versus Evil, if I remember. Wasn't there a show called Good versus Evil? Am I saying
it? Might have been on
USA, I think it was.
It was either like USA or like TNT.
Okay, because I think if I remember, I think he was in that show too. If I'm saying it right.
He was in a lot of shows back then.
Yeah. A lot of those actors were around in the 80s. So, well, like I said, the parents, like I said, the actress Hope Lang, she's an old time actress. So she's been around. Like I said, she passed away in 2003. So that's how I know some of these people. So,
and after they played baseball,
right.
What was it about him that like every time they did something wrong, like he made them run laps?
Well, because a couple times they were making fun of him.
Yeah.
Remember that's when they were doing this. They had to do the push-ups and all.
Well, the first time they got into
after the fight. That was the fight scene, right? That's when they started doing the push-ups, and then later on in the locker room they were making fun of him, and they had to do the push-ups again.
Yeah.
And also in the locker room too. That's when Grady was telling them, about your father bought the house and all. And he was like, "Oh, your father's crazy." And he was telling what happened. Like, supposedly the girl that lived there, mother locked her in her room or locked her up or something.
Yeah, he told him that Nancy was losing her mind and she's seen her boyfriend get murdered across the street.
Right, he mentioned that. Right. So. and that's when Jesse didn't believe him.
Yeah.
So, and then eventually Jesse will eventually meet Freddy.
Yeah.
And they were, his first. Actually, I guess it's his second scene when he goes to sleep and he has his nightmare. His second nightmare, right? And that's when Freddy meets him, and that's when he says to him, Jesse, I need you, Jesse. We got special work to do, you and I.
So after Nancy supposedly, forgot about Freddy. So what, he needed Jesse?
Well, what he did was, I think he was using use Jesse to possess him, if I'm saying right. Possess Freddy, if I'm saying
he was
right.
trying to come out into the real world to kill
Right, that comes in later on. That's when they catch on to that too. Yeah, because remember he says, you got the body, I got the brain.
Yeah.
And then once again we'll probably be doing that throughout the video.
He rips his,
he takes his skin off and his brain, and his brain, you see his brain at the top. Yeah, that's what he was telling them. You got the body, I got the brain. And you'll find out what he meant by that later on, so. Jeez.
And so Jesse, he wasn't as strong as Nancy, though.
No, Jesse was more, like, as we were saying, Jesse was more scared. He was more scared in this one. He was more scared, whereas Nancy was brave.
Right.
And then eventually, of course, when Lisa comes to the house, they find Nancy's diary, of course.
Her diary.
They find the diary and it has all the information, Well, first she talks about Glenn and all that, and then eventually she talks about Freddy, saying, he's trying to kill me and all that. So it
gets pretty dark when he's reading it, and then she says in the diary that her friend, I think, what was her name? Alice? Not Alice.
Tina?
Tina.
Tina.
Yeah. She writes in the diary that Tina got killed, and then they started reading about her boyfriend that got killed. So
right, that's what I'm saying. That's when Jesse pretty much started. Then he really started to get scared at first.
Yeah.
So,
but they never showed. I don't think they ever showed Nancy writing in a diary, did they?
No, I don't think. No, they never did. Yeah,
not in the first movie.
No, I just watched it recently again too, and I remember. I don't think she never saw. Yeah, you never saw like putting stuff down or nothing. Yeah. Nothing about her mother. No, nothing.
Yeah. So then Jesse and
Lisa.
Right. Who kept the diary though?
I think Jesse had it. Jesse had it for a little bit because remember at school. Remember when he went to school? Kim Myers. Lisa said, "Can I look at the diary again?" So I think she held. She held on to it. She held on for a little bit.
It was all dusty too.
Right. Well, yeah, because it was in the closet. It was like in the closet, like buried in like a little spot or something.
Yeah.
In the closet. Then eventually,
which I have moved in houses where like I've found like books and stuff like up in the closet. So.
Right. And they're dusty because they're not clean and nobody hasn't used them in a long time.
Not to mention stuff that I found in basements.
Right.
Yeah, it is believable that they actually found her diary.
So again, there's another scene where Jesse again falls asleep, or when he goes to bed, he has a little nightmare again, and this time he finds the gloves. Remember, he went down to the cellar
in the boiler room.
In the boiler room, right? Remember, he took him out, and the gloves were in there, and Freddy was right there. Remember, he's telling him, "Go ahead, Jesse, try them on for size." And that's when he went, "Kill for me."
The glove in this movie seemed really, really big, like oversized. And then every time he had a dream, he was like drenched in like sweat.
He was always right. Every time he wake up, he would wake up. He was his whole body was all sweaty.
Like in the first movie, no one was ever like drenched like that.
No, Nancy and Tina, they weren't sweaty at all. No,
because his room was it was like 90 degrees in his room. So remember, like they showed like the records melting and stuff. Like he woke up and the candle was melted.
The candle was melted. Yeah, he had it was like a baseball cap. I think it was a Yankees cap. At least that's what it looked like. Yeah, it was all melted and faded. Right, the candle on the side was all melted.
All right.
I can't imagine. It's like to sleep in a room like that, all heated.
Because his dad thought he was playing a prank.
Right, that was the scene. Was that the scene with the birds? Yeah, it was the bird scene. Right, when the birds. That's when the birds got killed. Yeah, that's when he said. He went, "You set this whole thing."
Flames.
Right. Yeah, that's when he said, "You set this whole thing up."
Yeah, he thought he put a cherry bomb on the bird.
Is that what he said? Right. Sure. Yeah, is that what he said? Yeah, it's like I didn't set that. What are you talking about?
Because eventually the whole house started to heat up.
Right.
And he was checking the thermostat, and and the oven and everything.
Right. Remember the toast and the toaster caught on fire.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, it wasn't plugged in though.
Yeah, it wasn't even.
It wasn't plugged. It wasn't plugged in. So then eventually, Lisa, of course, took Jesse to the abandoned factory, where Freddy worked.
Right.
So he was giving more information. As they took the kids there. He took his kids there and killed them all.
How did she know to take him there? Because she kept telling Jesse,
Right.
I'm bringing you here for a connection.
Right.
Did she think he was like psychic or something?
I don't know. Like you said, I don't know how she knew that he worked. Well, I know they had she had the newspapers.
She researched it. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember she had the newspapers. Remember?
Yeah.
And it even said it there: Krueger kills, Springwood slasher.
Yeah.
So maybe it had. So that must have been where. So in the paper, she must have found out that where he worked, and that's how he took him there.
Right.
He took him to the factory. But of course, Jesse kept saying, "No, I don't feel nothing, nothing." So.
Because I think Nancy did the same thing, and like she researched like who he was, and then she went back to.
Well, she found out from this hat. Remember when they took him to that? The mother took her to the that clinic or whatever it was. Remember, she fell asleep and she bought the hat. That brought it out. Remember, and this hat, his name was written on the hat.
Freddy.
So that's how she found. And of course, the mother told the whole story too.
Right.
Remember, she kept saying, Craig Krueger can't come after you. He's dead.
Right.
So.
The thing is, by the time Jesse found out everything, it was almost like too late.
Right. And that's when it gets closer to when he find out also, because then remember Jesse goes to the bar where Coach Schneider was. Again, I suppose that's his hangout spot.
Well, his friend told him that Coach Schneider hang out in those type of bars.
Right. Yeah.
And then he gets there, and Coach Schneider's in like the black leather.
The pants on, the leather shirt. Right. And then he was there. Yeah, I remember Jesse was going to grab a beer, and then he stopped him, and he made him run the track.
Well, remember I asked you, I'm like, is he even old enough to drink?
Yeah.
And the guy at the bar gives him the beer anyway.
I don't know. I don't know how old.
He didn't even pay for it. He just gave him the beer.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of like in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah.
Remember that when they went to the bar and Bill or one of them said, "Wow, he didn't even card us, dude."
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, we'll have to remember this place."
He just slides him a beer and.
Right. So then Jesse makes him hit the showers after he jogs around the gym.
So he took him out of the bar. Yeah. Back
to the school. I guess yes, right? Because I'm sure
run laps.
That's what I'm sure. Because I'm sure the school. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm sure the school and the bar aren't next door to each other or something. Or right.
And then he makes him take a shower. Take a shower. That.
And that's when and then that's when Schneider, the coach, is in the his office or whatever.
Why was the coach taking a shower though?
Well, the coach didn't take a shower. He got strangled with the ropes on.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's when the balls. That's when everything started happening. The tennis rackets were peeling off the things. The balls were bouncing, and everything started. The drawer, everything was moving. And
Freddie
jump
strung
ropes.
them up like this.
Right. Because the jump. Yeah, it was the jump ropes or whatever. Yeah, they grabbed him by his arms and his legs, and they took him into the. Then they took him in the shower. Right. And then he got tied up. His clothes came off, and then you just see the showers come on. Jesse's looking. And then the smoke. Then you see the smoke. That's right. The towels were whipping him in the behind. And then you see and that's when you see the smoke just fading around. You see Jesse just looking around. Then it fades.
Jesse didn't even help him though. He
was watching. Right. He was looking. And then it's like faded a while for a few seconds. And then finally see Freddy walking in, and he's got the gloves.
Slashes his
back. Coach, no. Ah, yeah, he did it twice. He went and yeah, he did it twice, and then that's when Jesse appears with the gloves on.
Right.
Looks at the glove, and what does he do?
He screams.
So that's at least three. It's got to be at least four times. Yeah.
Almost 4.
I'm counting 4. Yeah. And then the next day they go to school, and that's when Grady says, "Where you been, man? Snyder got wasted last night." Yeah. Schneider, got wasted. Someone came in and sliced him like kabasa. That's what he said, sliced him like kabasa.
The funny thing is, you know how like Freddy in the first movie would maybe like try and set up some of the kids. Remember like how he did Rod, and the police thought it was him.
Oh, when he hung
he never did that to Jesse. He had plenty of chances to frame him.
Right.
And he never did. I guess because he needed him. But
well, that's what it was. And again, like I said, we're going to get into that as it builds up. Excuse me. So yeah, after Schneider got killed, yeah, the next day at school, that's when Grady told him what happened. Told Jesse what happened about him being killed. And then eventually we lead into the Lisa's party. Mm-hmm. I guess it was just it wasn't a birthday. I think it was just a get-together. I think it was just like a get-together party, right? I think that's what it was.
Was she rich, though? Because you seen that big pool.
It was
in
a
her
big
house.
pool. Yeah, big pool. The house.
She had to be rich.
Yeah. It must have been rich, yeah. And then the father, the mother took the father upstairs so they can...
let's go to bed.
Let's go to bed, yeah. You're in charge, hotshot. Puts the hat on, yeah, gives him
that was a pretty big pool, so her parents had some money.
So they had the big band music playing for a while, but then when it was bedtime, party time! They put the rock and roll, everybody started dancing. Then Jesse, don't forget too, Jesse... before he went to the party, remember the scene where we went into his sister's room, remember?
Yeah.
And you just hear Freddy's voice, "Wake up, little girl."
Yeah, that was creepy.
Right. And then you just see Jesse, he's like, "It's late. Go back to sleep."
But he already had the glove on.
As he was putting he was putting the sheet he was putting the sheet on, he was putting the sheet over, right, and you see the glove on the other hand, he's like, "Whoa."
Yeah.
Right. Then we end up at the party, and then eventually Jesse decides to leave. Mm-hmm. He wasn't too comfortable. Well, first he
was making out with Lisa.
Well, they start Then they start because again she was trying to tell him, Jesse, it's all
tongue came out of his mouth.
Right. But before that, she was saying too, Jesse, it's it's all it's I think it's just getting crazy now. It's all it's you're getting obsessed with this all. Right. Then they make love for a few seconds, and then the tongue comes out. She didn't see the tongue because remember she kept saying, "What is it? What's wrong?"
Yeah.
And then then he leaves, and then of course he goes.
He was whacked out. He was on those stay awake sleeping pills.
Right. He took the pills,
and then he drank like Coca-Cola down with it.
Right. That was before he went.
You see all the bags under his eyes, and he's all like all whacked out of his mind.
Right. And then we lead into probably my favorite. This is probably my favorite scene. Probably my favorite death scene. Maybe when he goes to Grady's place because Grady couldn't go to the party because supposedly he was grounded.
Yeah.
He said something about making his grandma fall down the stairs or something.
Did he say he kicked her down the stairs?
Kicked her down the stairs. It was something, right? So he got punished. So he got punished. So he couldn't go to the party. So Jesse goes there, tries to explain to him what's going on and all. Like explain what happened. I tried to kill I went to my sister's room last night. I tried to kill her.
Right.
And of course Grady. You're
thing
crazy,
is,
man.
In the first movie, Nancy figured out how to pull Freddy out.
Right.
Jesse never knew that, so he told Grady to watch it.
Well, he just said, watch him if I do anything strange or anything. What do you say? Just stop me, hit me, bop me in the head or something.
He said if I try to leave, just
right. Because when Nancy to bring him out, you just had to hold him.
Yeah.
Because remember, if the hat came out, then if you hold him, he can come out.
Right.
So that's what happened here. But like I said, this is different. Right. He was telling Grady, don't fall asleep.
Right.
I mean, even if he fell asleep, it wouldn't matter anyway. Right. So, but Grady watched TV, getting ready to go to bed, and all of a sudden, Grady, it's happening again. He's holding on to his stomach. You see the knives coming out. The knives were coming out of his hands.
Yeah, it's weird how they do. It was cool, but it was weird like how he just
he's transformed into Freddy. Right, his arms were turning into the sweater. Yeah. He had the sweater on, and you see his head. So it's coming through his stomach, and then finally, and it comes out. Well, poor Grady. He's watching the whole thing, and then finally, Dad, open the door.
I mean, it was like a recreation of the scene with Rod and Tina.
Right.
Remember, Tina was flying up in the ceiling, and then he was trying to.
But see, Rod. Yeah, but remember, Rod couldn't see him though.
Right.
Rod couldn't see him. Whereas Grady, he saw the whole. He saw the whole thing. Yeah. Dad. So Grady, screaming like crazy. Freddy comes out, chokes him, grabs him by the neck, picks him up, squeezes him real hard.
Right.
Takes his knives right through. You don't see where. I guess through his stomach. I don't know. And then you see the blood.
Yeah, I think he impaled him.
Yeah, and then you see the blood coming, and the blood's coming out of his lips, his mouth. Oh boy! And you just see Freddie Mercury going, ha 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 ha. And then Jesse, you see Jesse's got all the blood all over his body.
Yeah.
His arm's like, "You killed him, you son of a bitch! You killed him!" Jeez. Yeah, I just thought that was I think it was my favorite scene because seeing Grady, going crazy, Dad, and then you see his father, "Ron, what is it? Open the door," because they couldn't open the door. So and also like, "Get help!"
Because they really didn't have a lot of death scenes in this movie, really.
No.
I mean, there was Grady, there was the Coach Snyder.
Coach Snyder, he killed a couple people at the party, which we'll get to in a second. Right, so he leaves the room because then the cops came, and then Lisa was getting ready to go find Jesse. Mm-hmm. Then Jesse came, then he finally came in and explained, like, "I killed Grady. I killed Grady." And again, she said, "Jesse, it's all," she still wouldn't believe him yet, mm-hmm. until finally when he finally said, "It's happening." Well, no, what happened was she didn't believe him at first, but then the book. Remember, they read the book again, and it was something that Nancy wrote down. So then she eventually she was starting to catch on.
Yeah.
And because remember then she said to Jesse, "Remember, Jesse, you got to fight it, Jesse." But he couldn't. He couldn't do it because he.
Well, they realized it was in his nightmares,
right?
And they had to sort of like fight Freddy to forget about him,
right?
Because that's the only way you could really like permanently get rid of him.
Right.
No matter what you would do physically to hurt him, he wouldn't die.
No. Right. So again, remember Jesse said it's starting to happen again. He was telling Lisa to leave, mm-hmm. but then again she couldn't leave because if you remember the doors were locked. Yeah. He was able to lock the doors, and then eventually then Freddy popped out. Right. That's when Freddy.
He electrified the fences too.
Yeah.
You see the kid. Ah!
Yeah. That's when Freddy says to her, "He can't fight me. I'm him." Yeah. So they had a little battle in the house for a few minutes. That's when Lisa goes, or Jesse. Freddy says to and Jesse's voice, "Kill me, Lisa. Please kill me."
Yeah.
Jeez. That was funny.
It's funny how he tried to trick her, but he was in the form of Freddy.
Right. And he even said too, he went, "There is no Jesse. I'm Jesse now." Jeez. That's like he got into it. But then remember the one scene when he said to her, remember he goes, "I love you, Lisa." I don't know if he was pretending on that scene, remember? And then eventually he threw, that's when he threw her and knocked her out, remember?
It was sort of like Freddy and him, like he was fighting him.
Okay.
But then after that, he did say, like, "Come back to me."
Right.
And then he started laughing again.
Right. Because then that's when he threw her, hit her and knocked her on the head and knocked her out. And then that's when he went outside it was quiet for a few minutes, and then finally Freddy popped out, and then that's when he started crashing the party. Right. He killed a few people, throwing things around. That's when the guy was like, "Calm down, man. Mm-hmm. Just tell us what you want.
Tell her what you want.
Just tell her what you want. I'm here to help you. Help yourself." And he knocked him out. And that's of course when he went, "You are all my children now."
Yeah, they probably never came to another party.
Yeah, like you said, everybody.
Guys want to come to a party? Hell
remember
no.
Remember the scene when everybody was running. Remember the people they actually killed the one guy. Remember the guy was on the ground. They were stepping. They stepped on him. His head got crushed, or the one guy when Freddy, the guy was running. You just see Freddy popping over, like puts his knives through his stomach, and the guy's like, "Ah!" Then the father comes out with the shotgun. He was getting ready to kill him, and Lisa stopped. He's like, "Oh!" He's like, "What the hell are you doing?" And then Freddy,
if you would have shot Freddy, like what? Like he would have killed Jesse.
Killed Jesse too. Yeah, I mean, I guess you're killing the one person. I don't know if Freddy would turn back into Jesse. I don't know, but then of course Freddy eventually left the party, and then.
But did the other teenagers see him as Freddy, or did they see him as Jesse?
No, he was Freddy. Remember, Freddy trashed.
So everybody saw him as Freddy, right?
Yeah, because Freddy. Yeah, they were because remember. Freddy crashed the party, remember? Yeah. Freddy crashed the party. Remember the guy? That's when the guy told him. I was like, "Calm down, Yeah, he was Freddy that whole scene.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we didn't see Jesse. We'll get to that in a minute. Jesse comes back we'll get to that when when he becomes Jesse at the end. Yeah, so Freddy leaves and he goes back to the factory. His old job, I guess, because that's when Lisa went over there.
That's where he took all the kids at.
Right, that's what she said earlier. I remember said this is where he brought them and he killed them all.
Yeah.
So she goes there, and then eventually she meets Freddy was there again. That's when he goes, "Come to me, Lisa."
Yeah.
And that's me. What? No, Jesse's dead.
There's always like a factory or like a boiler room type scene.
Oh yeah, the first one had.
And she burnt her arm, of course.
That was Nancy. Yeah, that was Nancy in the first one, right?
Yeah.
That's when she went. It's only a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or part 6 too, when the girl put her hands over the pot or something, or the stove. She burned her hands, and she woke up. Her hands were burning. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's right. So they're at the factory, and Freddy was getting ready to kill her. Mm-hmm. I remember as he was about to do it. Remember he started the blood was like melting or something out of his
it
chest.
started like pouring out of his chest.
It was coming out of his chest. Right. That's what. Yeah.
That's because Jesse was fighting him.
Oh, is that what it was?
So his body was starting to like deteriorate.
Right. Because remember he kept saying, "Lisa, come back to me, Lisa." And then eventually he threw. That's when he says, he'll die with me. He'll die with both of us.
Right.
And then eventually the fire. That's when all the fires, everything started catching on fire. Mm-hmm. Like pushed Lisa out of the way. And then that's when that's when you finally see Freddy's skin melting. Yeah. Remember, that's when he kept going, Lisa.
Yeah, you can see like right through his jaw.
Yeah, everything was all melting, and then finally his whole body just caught on fire. Yeah. His whole body caught on fire. He passed out. Then the fire just went out by itself. Really. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see the fire shut off, and then and of course you see action. And eventually it's Jesse waking up. Remember his face? He had like a burnt face.
It was Freddy's like outer head,
right?
Like just
you're right.
Like the front part like rotted off.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He took it off. Right, because he took it off, and then it was It was Jesse. Jesse was like, like where am I? And then Lisa started crying.
So Jesse, I guess he just picked Jesse because he just happened to live in the house.
That's the only thing I can think of. Well, that's the only thing I can think of.
It doesn't seem like Freddy terrorized the little girl at all.
No, he just the one scene.
She slept in the house and nothing really.
Right, just the one scene where he went into the room. When he went into the room, you hear him say, "Wake up, little girl," and then of course the one scene where she was doing the jump rope, doing the Freddy song. Yeah, that was her. Remember, Jesse opened up and she was doing the 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 4, better lock your door. So, yes, and then Jesse's Jesse again at the end. Lisa's crying, hugging him, holding him, and then we get to the next day, getting ready to get on the bus, getting ready to go to school. I guess he didn't want to drive his car anymore.
Yeah, he had that car where you just push the button.
Yeah, he pushed the button. Right, we saw at the beginning. Yeah, he just pushes and it starts up. Even Lisa said, "It was like, don't you afraid someone's gonna like steal your car?" He's like, "What?" And I think then he said, like, "Why would anyone steal this piece?" Right. I think he was probably gonna say, "Why would anyone steal this piece of junk or something?"
Yeah, it's so weird how he was driving her to work one day, and now he's like catching a school bus.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden he decided to take the bus now. I don't know.
Because I don't remember his car ever getting destroyed or anything.
No, I don't think so. I mean, the last time I remember, the later scene I remember when he took the car to school the day after Schneider got killed. I remember he drove the car there, and of course the factory where Freddy worked. Yeah, I don't think there ever was a scene where the car got messed up. He just decided
to take
the bus to school. Yeah, he was in a happy mood. And then then first he got a little scared because he thought the bus was going a little fast. Right. Remember, he's like, "Am I crazy? Is this bus going fast?"
It was going kind of fast.
Yeah, a little bit, right. And he finally got. He was like, "Driver, stop this bus!" And the driver looked at him, he's like, "Huh?" And then what's her friend? And then what's Lisa?
Well, the guy, the other kid got on, right?
Right.
And then Lisa's girlfriend.
What's her? Yeah, I forgot her name. Again, was her name mentioned? I forget too.
Well, I don't think her name was mentioned, but she had the black hair.
Well, I know who she was. Yeah, like her best friend. Yeah, that's when Lisa or Jesse, her friend said to Jesse, "Relax. It's all over." And then of course, whoosh, the hand comes out of her now, and then the bus goes once again down the hill. Freddy laughing, and then I guess they start another journey going down the hill.
So
and that's the credits come on. And of all songs to play, Bing Crosby. Yeah. I don't know about Bing Crosby. And did you ever have a dream? I don't know. You're playing something from the 30s to 40s. I don't know. I think that's kind of a little,
Right.
little fetched, but
Well, here's my thing, because Wes Craven, he like had nothing to do with this.
no, we didn't. The only thing he just said was based on the characters. That was it, based on characters by Wes Craven. What's his name did help out though. Robert Shea. He did do this one though.
Mm-hmm.
He was on that one. I think he did produce it. And then the director's name was what did I say his name was? Jack. I forget his name. We were talking about him earlier on. Jack Shoulder. It was something. Yeah. Yeah, I know you'll have a description.
Well, yeah, he helped with the first one and everything.
Right, Jack's. I forgot his name already. It was Jack Shoulder, I think it was.
Something like that.
It was something. It's close. I knew the last name was Shoulder. So, right. But as we said, Robert Shea did help out with the second one though. So they did have somebody from the original do this one. So.
Yeah, it's just because when I seen it back then, I had no idea that Wes Craven didn't have
anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Right. I believe now, we watch, and obviously in the future we'll watch Dream Warriors. Which is the next one, part 3. I believe he helped in that one. I could be wrong. I think he did, but we'll look into that one in the future.
Wes Craven did direct Dream Warriors, right?
I don't remember. I'm not sure.
I think.
We'll have to look at. Well, like I said, I know we'll watch that one in the future, and we'll let you know about that one.
We'll have to check that.
Yeah. So in all, this was probably. I mean, like I said, despite the scene with Grady, I thought the death scene with Grady was funny, but in all, this was probably not one of my favorites.
Right.
It was, and obviously the difference in this one, of course, was, whereas in this one, Freddy was able to kill people when people were awake this time.
Yeah.
Because typically, usually it's when you fall asleep, he's waiting for you, but in this one, that's usually how it goes.
Because they changed the rules.
Right. But people were able to stay. People were awake, and they were able to see Freddy, and he was able to kill him. So that was the difference. So yeah. So like I said, this one was not really my favorite. I mean, going into part 3, 4, and 5, I thought they were good. I thought they were the good ones.
I think a lot of people will agree
that part 2 was probably the least one. Yeah, I mean, first one was a classic.
Yeah.
Part 2 was just okay, and then I think the rest going on were good. And this set, by the way, this is actually on Blu-ray. It's all 7 of them. It's from 1 to part 7, Wes Craven's New Nightmare. This came out in 2000. This set came out in 2012. It has, and what's neat about this is that each one has features on all of them. So there's interviews.
Oh, okay.
So there's interviews with the cast and crew. Now some of the interviews are old because, like, for example, Wes Craven's on here, and he actually passed away a while ago.
Right.
But he's on here too. So it's neat. This is actually a good collector's. If you're a true Freddy fan, this is a good collector's set for you.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's got the first 7. Like I said, Freddy vs. Jason's not on there, but it has the first 7, and like I said, it's got features on every one, and it's got good. It's got interviews with the cast and crew, and you get behind the scenes footage, and all. So it's pretty neat. So if you're a true Freddy fan, then this is I would recommend this to your collection. So
Definitely.
Freddy Krueger.
And there's a lot of movies where the first one was like, classic.
Of course.
And then the sequel was like,
Yeah.
And then there are some movies where the first one is classic and the sequel is like even better than the first.
True.
But unfortunately, in this case, the sequel didn't quite do it.
Right. And what's neat about part 3, just to clear it up, to me, it's like a continuation of the original. Because in part 3, you have Nancy. Nancy's back. Yeah. Heather Langenkamp comes back in this one. The father comes back in this one, John Saxon. Right. So to me, it's like, I would have just probably done part 1 and doing part 3 next.
Yeah.
I mean, I think part 2, I think shouldn't even exist, in my opinion.
Yeah. So technically, you can watch part 1.
Right.
Skip
part 2 and go to part 3.
Watch part 3.
Right, because to me that's where
and not miss anything.
Right, to me that's the where it's to be continued, in my opinion. So, but as I said, I mean,
it's if you want to check how Halloween was with the second and then the fourth one.
Right, part 2. Right, because part 3 was Season of the Witch, and Michael Myers wasn't in that one. So, but but if you want to check it out anyway, be our guest and you be the judge. You decide if you liked it or not. So.
It's going to come with the collection anyway, so
it's in the set. Same thing with Halloween. I have the Halloween box set. It's got part 3, so it's in there too. I watched it anyway, so
wow.
Yeah.
I didn't think they would put Season of the Witch in there?
It's in there. It's got the whole thing. It's got Season of the Witch. It's got the Rob Zombie versions.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Thumbs down on that. So, but you know, it's neat though. I mean, it's cool that they they throw them in there, right?
Yeah.
And I have a Friday 13th box set. It's got it just has parts 1 to 8. Yeah, I don't have Jason. Well, I have Jason Goes to Hell. I have the other ones at home, but they weren't in that box set though.
Right.
But anyway, in all, one more time.
Yeah. That's all I have.
Me too.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, it's a great set. All 7 movies, and like I said, each one has features on it. And if you want to learn more about these movies behind the scenes, I would recommend this to your collection for you Freddy Krueger fans.
I'll drop everything. I'll drop everything down into the description so you can see it.
There you go. All right.
But that's all I have.
I think we're good. I think we covered it all. I'm looking forward. Yeah, and hopefully in the future we'll do part 3 Dream Warriors.
Yeah. I want to thank you again.
Thank you for having me again, sir.
For coming, and we will catch you on the next one.